शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत्तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थ रक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्। ॐ ध्यायेन्नित्यं महेशं रजतगिरिनिभं चारुचन्द्रावतंसं रत्नाकल्पोज्ज्वलाङ्गं परशुमृगवराभीतिहस्तं प्रसन्नं पद्मासीनं समन्तात् स्तुतममरगणैः व्याघ्रकृत्तिं वसानं विश्वाद्यं विश्वबीजं निखिलभयहरं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रम्। ॐ नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्।
धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। श्रीभगवानुवाच क्लैब्यं मास्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप। अर्जुन उवाच मदनुग्रहाय परमं गुह्यमध्यात्मसंज्ञितं यत्त्वयोक्तं वचस्तेन मोहोऽयं विगतो मम। मन्यसे यदि तच्छक्यं मया द्रष्टुमिति प्रभो योगेश्वर ततो मे त्वं दर्शयात्मानमव्ययम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुम् अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्। सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ततो राजन् महायोगेश्वरो हरिः दर्शयामास पार्थाय परमं रूपमैश्वरम्। दिवि सूर्यसहस्रस्य भवेद्युगपदुत्थिता यदि भासदृशी सा स्यात् भासस्तस्य महात्मनः। ततः स विस्मयाविष्टो हृष्टरोमा धनञ्जयः प्रणम्य शिरसा देवं कृताञ्जलिरभाषत। अर्जुन उवाच त्वमक्षरं परमं वेदितव्यं त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं त्वमव्ययः शाश्वतधर्मगोप्ता सनातनस्त्वं पुरुषो मतो मे। अनादिमध्यान्तमनन्तवीर्यम् अनन्तबाहुं शशिसूर्यनेत्रं पश्यामि त्वां दीप्तहुताशवक्त्रं स्वतेजसा विश्वमिदं तपन्तम्। द्यावा पृथिव्योरिदमन्तरं हि व्याप्तं त्वयैकेन दिशश्च सर्वाः दृष्ट्वाद्भुतं रूपमुग्रं तवेदं लोकत्रयं प्रव्यथितं महात्मन्.
Very nice. Thank you, Rakesh. Acha, so we finished 67. Is that right last time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us read 68. So far, Bhagavan has said who is to whom this should not be imparted the wisdom of the Gita. Let us see 68 what he says.
Ya imam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidhasyati bhaktim mayi param kritva mame vaishyatya samshayah.
Thank you. Very beautiful. Sampradayasya kartuhu phalam idanim aha. Now is set forth the fruit according to one, accruing to one who follows the right tradition. This is the fruit accruing to one. Ya imam paramam guhyam. The person who mad bhakteshu abhidasyati. Among my devotees, the one who imparts this transcendent secret. Paramam guhyam. Guhyam is secret. Paramam guhyam is transcendent secret. Yaha imam, the one who mad bhakteshu, among my devotees, abhidasyati, imparts this transcendent secret. Bhaktim mayi param kritva, nurturing utmost devotion to me. Mameva aishyasi, will undoubtedly attain me. Na samshaya, asamshaya, without doubt. Mameva aishyasi. Ashyati, sorry, Ashyati, asamshaya. He will attain me. This transcendent secret dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, which yields the summum bonum, whoever imparts it to my devotee, mad bhakteshu, mayi bhakti matsu abhidasyati vakshyati. To my devotees, both in letter and spirit, as I did in your case, will attain me indeed. How is it to be imparted? Nurturing the utmost devotion to me, that is, in the spirit of service done to the supreme teacher, the unlapsing God, which is hopefully how we have approached the text, right? Always deferring to the word of the Lord, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So then, no doubt about this will be entertained, that reference to devotion a second time in the second half of this verse shows that eligibility for cultivating the Shastra is bound up with devotion to God alone. And such a person attains the supreme. So, next verse, please.
Na cha tasman manushyeshu kaschinme priyakrittamaha bhavita na cha me tasmat anyah priyataro bhuvi.
Very beautiful. Nacha tasmat manusheshu. So among men, locative case, saptami vibhakti. Manusheshu, nacha tasmat. Kaschin me priyakrittamaha. This is superlative. Priyakrittamaha is the one who does a deed that is the dearest to the Lord. There is no one. Na cha kaschit. Tasmat manusheshu. There is no one other than that one among all men who does a deed dearer to me. Me priyakrittama. Bhavita na cha me tasmad anyaha priyataro bhuvi. And there is no one in the world who is dearer to me. So this is Lord's word. Among men now, none does a deed dearer to me than he who transmits the tradition of the Shastra, nor in future will there be another in this world who does aught, anything dearer to me. He too 70, please.
अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादम् आवयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेन 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 अहम् इष्टः स्यामिति मे मतिः.
Yeah, very beautiful. Adhyeshyate, the one who studies, the one who does adhyayanam. Cha, and yeah, that one. Imam dharmyam, this righteous dialogue, samvada, this beautiful conversation, which is a samvad, which is a dharmya samvad. Avayoho, avayoho is dual between two of us. Aham avayoho, right? So Bhagavan is referring there to himself and Sri Krishna. Jnana yajnena, through this sacrifice of knowledge, tena, aham ishtaha syamiti, he would have offered me through this a jnana yajna sacrifice to me. And is someone who is dear to me. Ishtaha syam iti me mati. This is my thinking. Whoso shall study this righteous dialogue between us shall have offered me a sacrifice consisting of knowledge. Among the many forms of sacrifice, ritual, vidhi, japa, japopanshu manasanam. So I don't like this translation of muttering for japa. Japa is not muttering. This is the stupidity of the English language. Japam is japam. Okay. So some of these ridiculous usages have crept up and acquired a certain validity, but it's ridiculous. Anyway, japam is japam. Vidhi, japam, and then manasana, yajnana, jnana yajna, manasatvat, vishishtatamaha. That is the most sacred, exalted one. Is Vishishta. Special one is Jnana Yajna. So the study of this Gita is exalted as being equal to a mental sacrifice. Or this may be taken to point to the fruit of such a study. This fruit is equal to what is obtained by worship of deities. To study the Gita is to sacrifice unto me most excellently. I am sure it is so. So it's a prayer to the Bhagavan. Okay. Then next one, please, 71.
श्रद्धावान् अनसूयः च शृणुयात् अपि यो नरः सः अपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
Beautiful. Shraddhavan, the one who is endowed with faith. Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasa Shraddha. Anasuyaha, and the one who does not revile, unreviling. Shrunuyat, whoever listens. Api yo naraha. So api muktaha, will be liberated. Shubhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. He will reach the happy realms reserved for the meritorious. Faithful and unreviling, whoso shall at least listen to this work, will be liberated from sins and will reach realms reserved for the performers of rites, such as the Agnihotra. Api, at least, shows what excellent fruits await him, who understands also its sense. So if just Shrunuyat, just by listening, this much is obtained, what to say of one who also understands its sense, meaning. The following question is meant to find out whether the disciple has grasped the contents of the sutra. Shishyasya shastrartha grahana agrahana viveka bubhutsya prichati. If he has failed, he may be instructed again. Such is the idea of the teacher. This also shows what the duty of a real teacher is. So, 72.
कच्चिदेतत् श्रुतं पार्थ त्वैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिद् ज्ञानसम्मोह प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय.
Correct. Kachid Ajnana. So, Kachid Etat Shrutam Partha Tvaya Ekagrena Chetasa. Have you, with concentrated mind, Ekagrena Chetasa, listened, Shrutam, to this? Kachit Ajnana Sammoha, delusion born of ignorance, Pranashtaha, has it been dispelled? Oh, Dhananjaya, has it been destroyed? Have you grasped with concentrated mind what I have told you, Arjuna? Has your native non-discrimination born of nescience perished? It was for this that you took the trouble to listen to me and I to impart this Shastra. Very important, right? Purpose has to be accomplished. So then what does Arjuna say? 73.
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोह स्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान् मयाच्युत स्थितो अस्मि गतसन्देह करिष्ये वचनं तव.
What a beautiful response from Arjuna. Nashto mohaha, my delusion has been destroyed. Smritir labdha, I have regained my memory of, not just memory, but we also say smriti is the wisdom, right? Smritir labdha. Tvat prasadat, by your grace. Maya, by me. O Achyuta, these things have been gained by me. Sthito asmi gata sandeha, I am standing here, I abide, lost of doubt, rid of doubts. Karishye, I will do, vachanam tava, your word, I will do your bidding. Right? This is the beauty and power of, it is different from the commander-in-chief of an army. Commander-in-chief of the army tells the soldier, go fight. And the soldier has to go because that's the law of the military. But here, what Bhagavan has done is by reason, he has converted the doubting person to the faith by reason. That is why in Hinduism, there is no proselytization. We don't try to take advantage of people who are weak, who are poor, who don't have anything, and then try to twist them into some specious argument and commit spiritual violence on them. What is done here is, he is given the choice. He is given a set of reasoned arguments. He is given also experience, vision of the Lord. He is being given great wisdom, explained every doubt in 1,000 different ways, and then he is given a choice. I've told you everything, now what do you want to do? Of course, this is highly reserved for the most sattvic people. The mind has to have some sattva in order to even open itself to this, right? But in that sense, this is not a conversion at all. It is merely the ridding of ignorance, right? Because Arjuna, from within his own volition, having understood the wisdom, dispelled his doubts, is standing firm and saying, I'll do as you say. So, after he does this, the commander-in-chief can retire. In the military, the commander-in-chief has to check, did the soldier go and do the job? Did you file the mission report? Now, the commander-in-chief doesn't have to worry because the soldier is now 100% going to do the job, right? Without a doubt. Why? He has no doubts. He knows this is the right way, right? So in that sense, it's a very thrilling response that Arjuna gave. Then, Parisamaptaha Shastrarthaha Atha Idanim Katha Sambandha Pradarshanartham Sanjaya Uvacha. Completed is the import of the Shastra. Now its relation to the epic story is set forth by Sanjaya. But before we go to that, let us read a little bit of the commentary on 73. Destroyed is the nescience-born confusion, the cause of all transmigratory ills, a veritable sea hard to cross. Sagaraha iva dustaraha. What is the sagara? Sea that is hard to cross. Ajnanajaha samasta samsara nartha hetuhu. Samasta samsara nartha hetuhu. This ignorance which is the cause of all transmigratory ills. One is the memory of the self's truth. Smritihi cha atma tattva vishaya labdha, by virtue of which all knots of the heart have been rent. Sarva hridaya granthinam vipramokshaha. Tvat prasadat, tava prasadat maya tvat prasadam asritena achyuta. By your grace, on which alone I have depended, O Lord. This expression proves that the fruit of mastering the Shastra is the destruction of confusion and the winning of the memory of the self. The Shruti, after mentioning I, a non-knower of self, am grieving, proceeds to show freedom from all bonds through self-knowledge. Anatmavit shochami iti upanyasya atmajnanena sarvagrantinam vipramoksha uktaha. Chandogya Upanishad, Vidyate Hridaya Grantihi, Mundaka Upanishad, Tatra ko mohaha ka shokaha, ekatvam anupasyataha. Isha Upanishad, iti cha mantra varnaha. These are the descriptions in the mantra, right? Those quotations, right? Vidyate Hridaya Grantihi. Or cut asunder the knots of the heart. Tatra ko mohaha. There, what is the delusion? Kaha shokaha. What is the sadness? Ekatvam anupasya. To one who sees the same in everything. So this is the now, subject to your discipline, I am no longer assailed by doubts. I shall do your bidding. I have fulfilled all my duties due to your grace. Nothing more remains to be achieved. Right? Name kartavyam asti iti avipraya, in the sense that from now on, Arjuna, being subject to the Lord's will merely carry out the play of the gunas. He knows that by his birth, he has been born a Kshatriya. The preponderance of Rajas impels him to act in the face of Adharma, and so he merely has to play out that action. So, 74, please.
Sanjay Vasa ityeham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanaha samvadamimarsaursam adbhutam romaharsanam.
Sanjay Vacha. So Sanjay said, very nice verse here. Iti aham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanaha. So thus I have listened to this dialogue between Vasudeva and the high-souled Arjuna, Partha. Samvadam imam ashrausham. This dialogue, imam samvadam imam ashrausham. I have listened. Adbhutam, most wonderful, marvelous. Romaharshanam, making the hairs delighted to the tips of the hairs. Hair raising. Hair raising normally we think of in a scary sense, but hair can also, Romaharshanam can happen in moments of great joy and deeply moved in a positive sense also. 75.
Vyasa prasada srutavanimam guhyam tam param yogam yogesh sadat krishnat साक्षात् कथयतः स्वयं
Vyasa prasadat shrutavan. Vyasa prasadat. By the grace of Vyasa, because Vedavyas through the Mahabharata is the one who has given us this. Vyasa prasadat shrutavan. I have heard. Imam. This. Gukhyatamam. Most secret. Param. Yogam. This yoga. Supreme yoga. From whom? Yogeshwarat. From the Lord of Yoga himself. Yogeshwarat. Krishnat. Sri Krishna himself. Sakshat. In very form of Sri Krishna. In his very form. In front of my eyes. Kathayataha. Swayam. He himself elucidated it. He himself told it. Not indirectly through his disciples. I have heard it from Krishna, the master of yoga, who spoke it forth directly. So this should be Roma Harshanam for us to hear that. 76, please.
Rajan samsmritya samvadamimadbhutam kesavarjunayo punyam rishyami cha muhurmuhu.
And this is so true. This is such a beautiful verse. It really rings true to the heart of the devotee. Rajan samsmritya. O king, he is telling Dhritarashtra, remembering myself again and again, remembering again and again. Samvadam imam adbhutam, this marvelous dialogue. Keshava Arjuno yoho, of Keshava and Arjuna, Keshava Arjuna yoho, punyam, most purifying, sacred. Krishyami, I delight. Muhurmuhu, again and again. That's why how many ever times we read the Bhagavad Gita, it never goes stale. Because each time it is uplifting. How is it possible? Right? Because of the sacred import of it and its power. Then 77, please.
Tatcha samsmritya rupamat yadbhutam harehe vismayo me mahan rajan rishyami cha punah.
Tacha and samsmritya, remembering again and again. Rupam atyadbhutam harehe, the beautiful form of Hari, the extremely fabulous, marvelous form of Hari. Vismayo me mahan rajan. I'm amazed, filled with amazement. Krishyami, and I rejoice again and again. Cha punah punah, recollecting again and again that most marvelous form, the cosmic form, which we just also heard in the first set of verses that Rakesh chanted. Recalling that cosmic form of Krishna, O king, my amazement waxes, I rejoice again and again. Why dilate? Then final verse 78.
Yatra yogeshwarah Krishno, yatra partho dhanurdharaha, tatra srirvijayo bhuti, dhruva nitirmatirmama.
Very nice, Rakesh. Thank you. Beautiful. This, of course, is a famous verse. You all know it. I think, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, where there is Yogeshwara Krishna, and where is Yogeshwara not? Yogeshwara is everywhere, right? But also, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, where also the mind in the form of Partha, wielding the bow, is standing ready. Right? So we can see Sri Krishna everywhere if the mind of Arjuna in us is ready at all times. Right? Tatra Shrihi, there will be glory. Vijayaha, victory. Bhutihi, dhruva nitir matirmama, and prosperity and stable order. These will be there. This is my thinking. To the side where the master yogi Krishna is, of whom are born all forms of yoga, and also Arjuna, the bearer of the bow, Gandiva, is the side to which will go fame, victory, affluence, vast glory, and stable order. Order means state policy. This is my conclusion. Of course, this is honesty being told to Dhritarashtra, who is affections and wishes are on the other side. But such was the honesty of the advisors of old, that they would speak the truth even if it was unpleasant. Right? Sanjay could have said something flowery and sidestepped the truth, but he saw it. So he called it like he saw it. Anyway, iti Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Govind Bhagavat Pujya Pada Shishya Srimad Shankara Bhagavataha Kritau Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhashye Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadasho Adhyayaha. So that is the ending of the commentary, and they have missed the printing of the ending of the oh, sorry, I missed it. Iti Sri Mahabharate Shatasahasrayam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam Bhishma Parvani Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambade Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadasho Adhyayaha. Sampurnam Samaptam. So most delightful, all of you who could join and stay from the beginning to the end. I don't remember now when we started this, but we have taken our time and we have not rushed at any point. And I think that has been delightful. We have not tried to stick to a predefined schedule, but we have let it flow as it flowed. And that was very delightful. So that concludes one more study of the Bhagavad Gita. So always a delight. It will always continue to be a delight. It is an inexhaustible fountain of wisdom, hope, and joy for anyone who reads it. So definitely, I definitely hope, and that again and again we will be rejoicing in this in future also. But hopefully you enjoyed. Any thoughts, comments, and then and many thanks to Rakesh for organizing this. Every week, making sure we got the emails and the text messages and the videos, and also everyone else who helped, Shalab, and I think for some time Racy was also handling these administrative details. So that thanks to everyone who participated in. If I missed somebody, my apologies. Probably Archit and Shiva also took on some duties, I don't know, at some point. But thank you for doing that. It's a very important service also. It definitely allowed me to focus on the text and not be worried about the administrative details. So thank you. Hello, Pavan and Supraja and Chetas. Chetas, you have sat through all of them. Very nice. Congratulations. Very delightful.
Thank you, Shankar Mama.
It's been almost like 2 years.
It has been 2 years, has it?
Yeah.
Did we start?
September 2019.
2019, yeah.
Oh, wow. 2019 to 2020. Oh, wow. Yeah, it definitely took a very long time. Anyway, time well spent, hopefully.
It has been a really delightful journey.
Thank you, Pavan.
And as I said, I would like to thank everyone from the Vivekananda House, the students who hosted us for the first few months. And I do not remember all the names, but thanks everyone.
Yeah. No, it was very nice you could join too, particularly because First of all, Chetas is the youngest participating member of our group, and overall, more people participate and enjoy and can continue with it. It's very, very delightful. I really think one has to sit through all of it to enjoy it fully, and that definitely was accomplished. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shankar, like for taking time continuously, for committing your time, and yeah, thank you
Thank you.
for
Commitment for you. It's
Thank
a huge
you.
commitment for you, like every week.
No, it was enjoyable. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's the beauty. In a sense, you probably know this from anything you do. When you do something in a very natural way, it doesn't feel like an effort. I never felt I was setting aside any time. It was just fun. It was like breathing. So Saturday evening was just the time to do it. It actually, as Bhagavan says, there is a lot of benefit accrues to everyone, including me. So I really enjoyed it. And this is probably not the first, I don't know how many time I'm doing this, but every time it's fun. And that is the glory of the text, indeed, that you can read it so many times and still not tire of it. Yeah.
And I think your commentaries made it more special, Dr. Shankar. I mean, we could read the verses and maybe not, maybe skim, maybe go through all the translation and then try to understand, but your experience and the way you related it really, I think that made the most difference. And I really feel fortunate to, have read through all of it. I mean, I think when I heard about Gita, I think I always heard it through some of the episodes in the Mahabharata, just those 3-4 episodes. That was all my knowledge about Gita.
Right.
But listening to 700 verses, I missed few classes, but still, thanks to Rakesh and everybody, we have recordings on the YouTube.
Right.
So feeling very fortunate and blessed.
Thank you, Shiva, for the appreciation. It means a lot. Yes, certainly. I mean, that's very sweet of you to say that. But the idea was definitely to give a contemporary interpretation, so that and that is relevant to our daily life in some way. I think that's what hopefully makes it more special and attractive, right, for everyone. Certainly. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating it.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shankar and everyone, like for making it. And I might be one of the person who did it more virtual, offline. I listened to the most of the videos offline after it is recorded, and yeah, recently I'm able to present. So I listening even to those nowadays I'm listening starting from beginning again. Like now I'm in 25 episode again. Like listening it again and again give me a different feeling, and try to listen that or go through those previous verse again and try to understand in a feeling like I know better, or I want to understand it in a better way. So yeah, this is so blissful. And yeah, this recording and whole session would be really grateful for us and even for our next generation to whenever Eza will understand, we'll definitely go through those verses. Yeah, this is really blissful for us.
Thank you, Susmita. No, I understand you're a mother, so you have a lot of duties. So naturally, you cannot be present for every one of them. This is understandable. It's very nice you could catch up with the recordings. And you're right. Definitely, with your samskaras, I'm sure Rajeshri will also someday enjoy this. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so this has been very blissful, as Shiva also mentioned. With your experience, there are sea of information about Gita. If you look, online or try to understand. So your presence, in person, right? If the fortunate to be people who could be in person with you. and getting the knowledge from your experience and explaining that way, that is very insightful, and still still more to go, still more to learn, like in the last verses, mind need to open, right? Be ready, even though a lot of thing we listen to, and I think this has been very very delightful and blissful journey with you, like from the beginning before the Gita also, it has been very very blissful, and yeah, we sincerely thank you for your time and commitment, yeah, to show us the light. So
thank you, Mahesh. We've enjoyed for a long time, of course, and you're right. I think doing it live makes it more it's easier to come and join a group. I think the group atmosphere is very nice that way. There is interaction. So I can imagine if I put myself in the mind of, I mean, I have listened to many videos. It does require a high level of enthusiasm and motivation if you're going to listen to something in which you're not participating live. It is possible, but it requires some more. It definitely makes it more pleasant and easier if it is being done live with a group, definitely. So thanks for your appreciation again. And so we have not quite decided. Oh, by the way, next Tuesday is Gita Jayanti. I don't know if you noticed that. I will look at so timing wise, we finished at a very interesting time. Where is that? It should be in my calendar.
It's December 14th, yeah.
Right, next Tuesday, correct. So our timing is very good. So we definitely celebrate that day, remembering the Sambad, and maybe it'll be a nice time to, just maybe watch in one of the videos again or something like that. So timing is good.
Yeah, another motivation for me was when I came to this country, it was like maybe in the first month or something, like I started class and then somebody got me in front of the library. And then like, he was like very like, some preachers like they do, and then like converted to Christianity. And then I'm okay with that if they say convert to Christianity, but then he started telling something about Rama and all this and how bad he is and all that. At the time, it was like my first month here, and then I was all scared and I didn't know what to say back. All I did was I just went to ran to Pawan's office, which is close by, and then I cried. Oh, they got me, and then they did all this, and then I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then Pawan told me, you should have told them back. And
yeah.
To be honest, I didn't know what to say back, very strongly, what to say. And after half an hour, sit and think, then I know what to say. Yeah. But instantly, I didn't know. And then that's one of the experience I had. And then I thought maybe Chetas will have that, somebody will get him and then say something about I want him to have some answer. Yeah, once he knows this, and then if he decides something else, I'm fine with it. But without knowing what our culture or our Hinduism is, I didn't want him to jump into some other conclusions, based on some readings or what people say.
It's a very good point.
A lot of people, they say very convincingly.
Yes.
You don't know about your stuff properly.
Right. And in fact, it's peculiar. I think it's even stronger if people are growing up in India, because when we grow up in India, the community is very homogeneous, largely, culturally the same. So everything is kind of assumed that this is how it is. But first time you encounter a resistance or a difference of opinion, but not only it is not polite sometimes, it comes with an explicit push to convert. And we are not used to that. We would not do that to somebody else. So it comes as a big surprise. And I've had many times people come in, both it is done sometimes overtly and also covertly. So I've been invited once to a dinner party where it was not very clear. They were just being friendly. And then later it turned into a description of confession and conversion. And I think when I was younger, I used to have very strong reaction to it. It is very upsetting because it is a form of spiritual violence. And I think you're right to point out it makes us. So what is it that upsets us is very important to examine, and also to find an effective way to respond. So you're very right about that. We have to be, it's very nice to prepare the children that this will happen. When your children go to school, even somebody will say something like, oh, only Jesus is the way, only Jesus saves, you are damned, you're all heathens, anything can be said. And those are all experiences that may happen to our children here. So they have to have a very firm and clear way, polite way of saying, no, this is, you're entitled to your opinion, but this is not acceptable. This is not how we think. And not only that, they are ignorant. I mean, this wisdom is eternal wisdom. But to have that inner strength to stand up and say that we know what we're talking about. This is not something. And as Supraja said, the more we understand why we do, what we believe, then with greater strength, and calmness, one can respond appropriately. Very often nowadays, if somebody comes, I invite them and I'm very pleasant to them. But I also point out to them that there is a greater chance that they may go back with more doubts and questions about their faith than me. And it's a bit unfortunate, but you have to prepare yourself in many ways about this. And Supraja, I'm very sympathetic and empathetic of the pain you must have suffered to be caught unprepared.
Hard, especially in the first month, and you're not used to
it is
culture here, and then yeah.
And unfortunately, that place in front of the library is called the Free Speech Corridor. Sometimes people don't understand. When I say spiritual violence, it seems exaggerated, but it is a form of violence to do that. So we have to, it's a very good point. In fact, that could be a topic of, how do we prepare ourselves? I think the first thing straight away is to say that, welcome them, but say that, I am very firmly established in my Hindu faith, and there is nothing you're going to say that is at some level going to shake that. But if you want to have a discussion, certainly we can have a discussion. And I think that straight away disarms them and points out that, this is, and also maybe point out that, why do you go about doing this? If your faith is so strong, why do you have to go around buying people into it? Straight away put them on the back foot. And also, it doesn't hurt to have some information about, the tremendous ills that have been done by this kind of conversion, the Crusades, butchering people in the name of the Lord, incredible suffering inflicted on so many countries and citizens of so many countries all over the world. I think it's important to have those facts at one's fingertips and to push back and say that your argument makes no sense, because if that was indeed your guiding principle, then why did all these horrible things happen in the name of your religion? So please, back off and desist and perhaps try to learn something from us. I think it's sometimes important to take a stronger pushback, because the force that is coming is very strong. I can tell you that. It's a very strong force. And so one has to learn how to respond appropriately. Yeah. Sometimes just let it, and sometimes you have to make it very clear that this is not appreciated if it's hurtful, especially if it's hurtful to somebody of my community. I'm going to definitely speak up against it and say that you're perfectly within your rights to believe what you want and practice what you want, but you do not have a right to impose this in this way on others, or even try to push. It's not fair. Yeah. Thank you. That's an important point. These are the practical things we face, right? We want to cultivate the good and the sort of happy and comfortable space, but we also have to be concerned about these, And the sad thing about this, the very sad thing about it is that actually, if you go back and review so many of our discussions we had, I often quote from Jesus. The original seer had many wise things to say. In his words, there is no untruth, actually, right? But the organization of it and the misunderstanding of it and the misinterpretation of it is what is the cause of all these problems. We actually have no problem whatsoever with Jesus himself. The life he lived was pure, and the principles he upheld were beautiful and delightful to the heart. It is actually the followers who have false followers who have distorted it. Yeah, and I think that gives us also a nicer way to interact with it, because straight away it disarms them. I have no problem with Jesus. Why are you coming and telling me all this? Of course, I totally agree that he was a yogi and probably learned many things from the Indian subcontinent, which is the spiritual heart of the world. So what are you going to come and tell me about that? It's we who taught him all these things to begin with, because the rishis existed far before Jesus was born. So, I think setting something straight can help. Anyway, I'll say Shanti Mantram now. Enjoyable discussion. Look forward to seeing you. Yes.
Can I just say something that I have been wanting to say? Like, I think I don't know. I'm really amazed by all like Rakesh, like Shiva, Archit, and all the students who are joined with you. And I don't know. I wish I had so much of dedication that you guys had, so much wisdom that we had when I was in grad school, but I didn't have. And I don't know. I just wanted to say it out that I'm really amazed by your commitment and dedication. And I would like to say that you all should feel fortunate that you had a guru like Dr. Shankar. And I wish I had one in my grad school days, but I didn't have. So I just wanted to say it.
Thank you, Pavan. In fact, I feel the same way. I wasn't as dedicated as these guys in grad school.
Yeah, so, it really amazes me and gives me hope for the future, actually.
Yes, a lot of hope. At such a young age, you are all so dedicated. It's marvelous. I completely agree with Pavan. And we did not have this level of organization and structure in our time. And Pavan and I are kind of the similar generation. So I completely agree with you. It's remarkable. It's really wonderful. Archit, Rakesh, Shiva, and also Pranav Racy and all our VH folk who were involved in this. Really amazing. Yeah.
Yep. I think Rakesh, Shiva, they will agree with me. So I think we were just lucky. We happened to meet Rakesh, Dr. Shankar and all. And so, yeah, I think, like you said, we are fortunate we got in contact with all this at this stage.
No, but you were doing these, you have an organization even outside of that. So, there was a commitment even outside of our satsang that you've been participating in. So that's very nice. It's pretty remarkable. He's right. It gives a lot of hope. Yeah, we were not so organized when we came. And I think this is the beauty of the interaction that, normally when over the years, what I find is, successive generations who come to the US, there's often not much communication. Like the very old generation, they do the thing. At most, you meet at some dinner parties and you have a few words, but there isn't a thread of, but here you actually get to know everyone very nicely. Yeah, in a nice way. Yeah. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that, Pavan. Achha, then I'll say Shanti Mantram. We disperse and meet again soon. If I don't see you before the new year, have a lovely holiday season. Enjoy the new year. And if you meet somebody who celebrates Christmas, we do enjoy the birth of Christ and the goodness he brought into the world. That is always part of our thing, even if we may not agree with some of the following things. So, okay. Om Tacham Jora Vranimahe Gatum Yajnayam Gatum Yajnapataye Daivi Swastirastunaham Swastirmanushebhyaham Urdhvam Jigatu Bheshajam Shanno Astu Dvipade Sham Chatushpade Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste, everyone.
Hey, namaste.
Namaste, uncle.
Namaste.
You've been here from the beginning. Yes. Namaskar.